Hello, folks. So, I want to talk a little bit about um, the evolution of my thought life over the years, because thinking is obviously something we all do, and I think people take for granted that um, it's just, how you think is just how you think, when really how you think actually really matters, because your mind is always with you, and your mind can either be a really pain inducing uh, mechanism, or it could be a very soothing mechanism. So, how you think matters because it's going to affect your mood on a daily basis. So, first of all, I want to go back maybe like 15 years now, okay, of what my mind was like at that point. Um, when I was when I was younger, maybe early 20s, um, I was in a lot of emotional pain, and my mind was a mixture of self abuse, brooding, um, just random chaos, and there was no real control. And I did have a drive to fix that emotional pain. So a lot of my mind was analysis driven. I would go on walks and just think and try to like problem solve. Okay, why do I feel this way, and what is making me feel this way and that way? And I would write a lot, and I would write. I'd carry pads in my pocket and write my thoughts down, and just really try to solve the puzzle of what was causing me pain. But I was also in pain, and was also the thing that was causing me pain was myself, and that's why I mean it's important to think in a healthy way, because the thing that was causing me pain was my own mind. Okay, and the reason my own mind was causing me pain was because of the unhealthy views I had about myself. My perspective about myself was what was causing me pain. And so I had to work to shift that perspective from a negative perspective to a positive perspective. And that took a lot of time. And I credit God, obviously, for helping me with that. But so that was my mind in my early 20s. And throughout my 20s, there was a lot of especially the first half of my 20s, there's a lot of depression and pain, and so then as the years went on, in my later 20s, I started feeling more comfortable. I started feeling, less negative self-talk, less, I was being kinder to myself. I was being much kinder to myself, not talking down to myself, not beating myself up with my own mind, and instead thinking about things that are positive, thinking about things that I find interesting, thinking about things that make me happy instead of things that make me upset or miserable. And so that was the next step. Then I started to be able to, as my mind was healing, and I was being nicer to myself, I began to realize I began to have less of a compulsion to brood about things, because I didn't have as many things to obsess over. about the pain that I was in, because I wasn't really in that much emotional pain anymore. Pretty much not really any regular emotional pain anymore. So I began to be able to quiet my mind. All right, so then I finally was able to completely quiet my mind, and I just had a relatively quiet. I'm not saying like completely quiet, but relatively quiet. But then what ended up happening is when I completely quieted my mind, I began thinking out loud, because it wasn't happening here. So then I began talking out loud my thoughts. I used to write it down, and then and so I was talking out loud, and that can make people think you're crazy. I wasn't doing it in public, obviously, but in private, and that can make people think you're crazy. But it was really just me thinking, but it wasn't happening in my head. It was happening out of my mouth. So then recently I learned the happy balance. I feel like the final touch for a mind that is 100% perfect for me, which is an almost empty mind. I know a lot of people say empty your mind and just be present with a complete empty mind. I tried that, and then I began, like I said, talking out loud, because I had to get my thoughts out in some way. But what I realized is, if I just have a mostly quiet mind with just one single voice, no chaos, no craziness, no intrusive thoughts, just one voice, which is myself, my own conscience, and then just having a private space in my mind to just say whatever I want to say, and just have that space to just express whatever I want to express right here, because nobody can hear it. It's whatever I want to say, it's happening right here. And to me, just having that single voice on like a blank stage, to just chill, to me that feels really comfortable. And it's just very peaceful to just have that single voice, no chaos, no intrusiveness, no brooding, like in the old days. And then, just quietly just enjoying my own thoughts. I could lay down for hours just thinking and expressing in my mind. And that is the evolution of what my mind was to what my mind became. And so, a lot of the reasons my mind was in chaos was because of a low self-esteem. And when, as I worked through those issues, and I saw my own value, which everybody should see their own value, then I was able to have a healthy mind that is comfortable, a place that I want to be, a place that feels comfortable, like home. And that's why it's really important to develop a mind that is comfortable, because that makes life much more comfortable in general. Because a lot of times our own mind is our own biggest enemy. And so it's important to develop a comfortable mind. It might not be the same as what's comfortable for me, but whatever's comfortable for you. And then you can have self-sufficient stimulation in your mind, and it can be a comfortable experience and a pleasant experience just to be, I guess, everybody thinks of it different, but and for me, just sitting and having that empty space to just express in the privacy of my mind with just that single voice that is my own, that's a perfect mind way of being for me. For someone else, it might be visual. Some people might like to, go on visual adventures if you could see vividly in your mind. My mind is more audio focused, like I can imagine music, or I can imagine, words and things, and everybody's mind is different. So whatever your mind, whatever's comfortable for your mind, that's what, finding a way to have a healthy mind that is pleasant for you. It's very beneficial, and it can make living in the world more bearable, much more bearable, actually, much more bearable, really, because an unhealthy mind can be unbearable completely. So I just wanted to share that. Let me just get this mouse going. But yeah, that's what I wanted to share, and thanks for watching. See ya.